With Parshat Masei, we conclude the Parshios of Sefer Bamidbar. The Parsha begins by enumerating the different stages of Klal Yisrael's travels through the Midbar, which eventually led them to Eretz Yisrael. The Parsha is always read during the 3 weeks when we mourn the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. Is there a connection between the two? The Sefer Talei Oros brings down a very beautiful and comforting thought in the name of the Skolner Rebbe. And he says the following. He says the same way that Klal Yisrael traveled through the Midbar, and they faced many challenges through those journeys, many nisyonos, but these nisyonos were necessary in order for them to acquire Eretz Yisrael. These were the Yisurim she'Eretz Yisrael nikneit by him. So the same way, Klal Yisrael has been traveling through a very long journey, a journey through Gullus. In that same way that the journeys through the Midbar had an ultimate purpose, and that was entering Eretz Yisrael, so too the long and difficult journey that we face today during Gullus will serve a master plan, will be part of a master plan whose purpose will be to prepare us for purifying us for the Geula Shalema. But a human being is limited in his vision, and because of that, he does not always see the master plan. Rav Dessler compares this to a person who's peeking through a keyhole in order to look into a room. And because his vision is limited, all he sees is a pen moving across a paper. Does he conclude that a pen can write independently? Or does he believe that because my vision is limited, I cannot see the person holding the pen, but there must be a person there? Obviously, a pen cannot write independently. A person who does not believe in Hashgacha Pratis is like a person who thinks that the pen writes independently. And so when Klal Yisrael went through different challenges in the Midbar, they did not always see the master plan. The same way when we go through difficult journeys in Galus, different challenges, different nisyonos, we don't always see the master plan. But we have to believe that there is a master plan, and the pen does not write independently. Klal Yisrael are taught this lesson in the beginning of Parshat Masei. The Parsha begins with the following words, Eila Masei b'nei Yisrael asher yatzu me'eretz Mitzrayim. Asks the Malbim, shouldn't the Parsha have began with saying, these are the travels, Eila Masei b'nei Yisrael asher nasu le'eretz Yisrael? Don't we want to say what the goal was? That this is their plan. They want to go to Eretz Yisrael. They've been told that that's where they're going to go already at the time of Avram Avinu, in Bris Ben Absarim. So why say these are the travels of going out of Mitzrayim? Say that these are the travels for traveling to Eretz Yisrael. And the reason it's written this way is in order to tell us that the purpose of these journeys in the Midbar were in order for them to leave Mitzrayim. These were stages that were able to remove the tumah and the negative influence of Mitzrayim, and that was necessary before Klal Yisrael can get to Eretz Yisrael. Says the Malbim, we can compare this with a mashal, to a person who's moving from a very warm climate to an extremely cold climate. And his doctor knows that if he would make that journey very suddenly, his body would not be able to adjust to such an extreme change in temperature. And therefore his doctor advises him, do not make that move in one stage, but rather move first to a slightly colder climate, stay there for a while, adjust to the change in temperature, and then move on. Similarly, Kadosh Baruch Hu, who's the master doctor, who knows what's necessary for us, knew what journeys were necessary for Klal Yisrael to go through in order for them to be able to come to Eretz Yisrael. They had to make a gradual trip, and therefore these are the travels for Bnei Yisrael. Asher yatzu me'eretz Mitzrayim. This is what you have to do in order to make the journey, in order to be able to come to Eretz Yisrael, in order to be able to dwell in Hashem's palace. This parsha is always read during the 3 weeks. Okay, and it also happens to be Shabbos Mevarchim, Parshas for Chodesh Av. The month is called Av to remind us that the difficulties that Klal Yisrael face during Galus are difficulties sent by a loving Av, by a loving Father who knows what's necessary for us in order to be able to build us. As the Navi Yirmiyahu says in Sefer Echa, Kol Rodfei Hisigua Bein HaMitzarim. All those who seek it will be able to reach a closeness with the Kadosh Baruch Hu during the 3 week period of Bein HaMitzarim.